Jamie. This is Nesting Seam Stitchery and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you find something that you like. So this is Flosstube number 26. Thank you for tuning in. It has been about 5 months since my last official Flosstube update. So I wanted to come on, tell kind of why that is, and then show everything that I've been working on. I have a lot of projects. I have a lot of new starts. I have a finish, and then I have a whole bunch of whips. I did just film a fully finished parade, and I will link that down below if you want to check that out. That will have all of my finishes that I've done in the past 5 months since I last saw you guys. There are 15 of them, and that was a lot of fun to do. So definitely go check that out if you want to see all of my finishes. I did that separately because I didn't want this video to be so long. So I did that separately, and then I'm going to do my other whips in this video as a official Flosstube update. So bear with me. It is a lot, like I said, but let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, first up, I have my finishes. I only have one because, like I said, I typically typically fully finish everything as I go. So it's very rare that I just have a finish that isn't fully. So I have one of those. This one is Suck Up the Sunshine by, I believe it's Black Waltz Stitching. This is what it looks like. I used a 28 count Monaco that I dyed myself, and I used the called for DMC on this one. I believe this is a freebie from Black Waltz Stitching on their Ko-Fi. I will link all of that down below. If it is a freebie, I'll go ahead and link it. If not, I'll still go ahead and put it down there so that way you can see if you want this pattern. This was a lot of fun to do. This took me about maybe like 2 days to do. And I'm going to finish this into a little pillow eventually. All right, like I said, that was my only finish. So now I'm going to move on to my new starts. I have a plethora of new starts from the past 5 months. All right here. And I'm going to show project bags as I go, so why not? All project bags are made by me. I make project bags for myself, and yep. So this one is in a little mouse and strawberry project bag. This is Strawberry Goose Witch by Fine Frog Stitching. Hold on, I lost a needle. Okay, this is what it looks like. And then this is where I am. I started this as part of the Strawberry Moon Sal that Marjorie made host in January. Not January, in June. That Marjorie made host in June as part of the Strawberry Moon that happens that month. So I got a big chunk of the goose done, almost all of the hat. There's, as you can see, there's a lot of stitching in her dress and everything. So I just wanted to get a good start on it. And I will probably end up pulling this out the next Strawberry Moon in June. I am using the called for DMC. So all of the called for floss. And then this is stitched on a 14 count. It's a 14 count something. Let me see if I have it. Ah, here it is. This is 14 count Gloucester Serpent by Cryptid Cloths, and I will link down below. The company name is not Cryptid Cloths, that's just the fabric name, and I am totally blanking on who does these cryptic cloths. So, but I will link that down below for sure, and I will put it right here as well, so that way you know who makes this fabric, because it's really nice. I got this as part of a mystery fabric that I ordered off of Etsy from the shop, and I think it complements this very well. So you guys are going to have to bear with me a second as I put all of these back in the project bags as I go. But that's okay. So how have you guys been doing? Life has been lifing for me, of course. Let me know how you guys been doing this past 5 months, because I haven't talked to you guys. Right. Up next, I have a Cup of Cheer by Stitching with the Housewives. This is what it looks like. And this is where I am. I started this one as a Jolly July start. And as you can see, I'm pretty much almost done with the first middle cup. I just have the fill-in for the white cup to do, which is mainly like his beard and his the Santa's beard and everything. But otherwise, this is stitched on a 14 count black Aida with the called for DMC. This one is a lot of fun to do so far. I love stitching with the Housewives patterns. I think they're very easy. They don't take a lot of time to do. And you end up getting some really good finishes that I just decorate my house with. I am a decorator for my house. That's why I like to cross stitch. I like to have the finished pieces everywhere in my house, basically. Up next, this is Ghostly Friendship by, I believe you pronounce it Nathulu. I'll put it right here on Etsy. And this is where my start is. Isn't it so cute? Oh my god, I'm obsessed with it. It is so amazing. This is stitched on a 18 count copper penny by Atomic Ranch, I believe. And I have stitched the ghost and the frog, and I'm using all of the called for DMC. So as you can tell in the photo, it will have like a mound with like mushrooms and like some foliage around it. I do plan on doing all of that, but this one, I sent this picture to my friend and she's like, it's us. Her favorite animal is frogs, and I'm a spooky girl. So I remind her of all things spooky. And so she said that the ghost is me and the frog is her. And I think that's just so cute. But yeah, that's Ghostly Friendship. This one is I just love it so much. I can't wait to do more on that one, actually. Oh, this one is in a project bag like this. And I didn't show you my other project bag. All right. This one's just in a clear one. This is My Flowers by Boomerang Stitches. And this is where I am. So as you can see, I have this whole flower done. I have part of I'm about halfway done with the second one, and then started on the third one right there. This is stitched on a, let's see, I have it right here. Bear with me one second. As you can tell, I'm not prepared for this Flosstube at all. This is stitched on a Charles Craft 28 count pure Irish linen. The one that comes in the tubes. So that's where I am on that. As you can see from the photo, I did substitute one of the colors. One of the colors is 645, very dark beaver gray. I did omit that, and I chose this purple instead, which I think very complements the orange in this flower. Yep, that's My Flowers by Boomerang Stitches. I've seen a lot of people finish this one this year, and all of their finishes are just absolutely gorgeous. I am so jealous of anyone who finished it because I am like dying to get it done. I want it framed. I already know exactly where I'm going to put it and everything like that, how I'm going to do it. I just want to get it done. I'm impatient. Up next, I have B Movie Scream Queen by the Witchy Stitcher. This is in a scrappy project bag. I did crumb. This is a method called crumb piecing in quilting, where you take all of your little pieces, fabric pieces, and you just sew them together with no rhyme or reason. This is what the back looks like. Very messy. I did use some interfacing to hold everything down in place. And then I have my little enamel pins on there, Ghostface and Annabelle. And then this is what the inside looks like. But this is what the whip looks like. Again, this is B Movie Scream Queen by Witchy Stitcher. And this is what this looks like. Fabulous start. As you can see, I just have the E in the A in Scream. This is stitched on a 14 count white Aida that I dyed myself, actually. I just splattered a whole bunch of red, and then I was like, I think it needs a little bit more. So I added a pop of black to it. And I actually love how this fabric looks. I am so excited for this one. The pattern itself, as you can see, is pretty full coverage. So it's gonna span this whole section. And then I'm going to make it, frame it or finish it with the splatter showing as a big piece. So really excited about this one. I work on this one when I watch scary movies. As you can see, I haven't really watched a lot of scary movies, or I haven't gotten out while I watch it. But I do watch, my favorite scary movie is Scream. And I do watch that as a comfort movie. Put it on when I'm feeling stressed. And I got this out. I started this maybe about a month ago when I watched that movie. And then I watched the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I got, I dyed the this is what I did. I remember now. I dyed the fabric when I watched Scream. And then I started it during I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's what I did. I did not finish that movie, by the way. I did not care for it at all. So the original was better. All right. Up next, I have Glenda's Garden by the Artsy Housewife, living in a cute cat project bag. This is what it will look like. Isn't she gorgeous? And this is where I am. Don't mind the hanging thread. But as you can see, I got a lot done on this so far. It's a lot it's a lot of stitching though. So I have half of the raven or crow done, whatever it is. I have the top of the house, and then I have the moon. Needle minder is from Mad for Minders. This is stitched on a 28 count fabric dyed by me. And that is actually probably true to color right there. Love how this looks. I'm very excited about this one. This one is a lot of fun to do. It's a lot of fill-in. I haven't worked on it lately because I am missing a thread in the color Walnut, I believe, by Gentle Arts. I think. It's mainly part of the house color, like the brick in the house, and I'm missing that color. I just need to go to my LNS or make an online order and get it. I just haven't gotten it yet. It's just like a low priority right now, you know, one of those things. I have all of the other called for threads. So these are all called for. There we go. These are all called for. And it's a mixture of Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks, and then one DMC. All right. Up next, I have Ghosting to Town by Hello from Liz Matthews. This lives in a patchwork project bag. And this is where I am. Oops. Let me put some clips on there. All right. And this is where I am. This is stitched on a 32 count vintage country mocha with the called for DMC, except for the, actually, I lie. Let me just get out my threads. It's not the called for DMC. Most of it is the called for DMC. I am also using two stash ones, which is Classic Colorworks Marmalade for the dark orange. And then I am using Aliens Among Us floss in the color species 1298. And it's just this really pretty orangey color. As you can see, it's just really nice, and I think that they just complement each other very well. They look pretty much the same right there, but you can tell that they're very different. This is not supposed to be an E, that's supposed to be a B. There's 3 pumpkins, or like pumpkin balloons, and they say boo, as you can see in the photo that I showed. But this was a Hello from Liz Matthews Patreon pattern, I believe last year. And I was part of her Patreon, and I did get this, and I started it back in, when did I start it? August. About the end of August. And that's Ghosting to You. This one is a little touch and go. It's fun. I have it on Pattern Keeper, so it's a little easier for me. I find that now I used to be just a paper stitcher, paper pattern stitcher. I do find now that the Pattern Keeper is the way to go for me. I find it a lot easier to not only track my stitches, but to make sure that I don't mess up anything. I have a lot less mess ups when I use Pattern Keeper. So I'm really excited to get more on that one. This next one is just a clear project bag. This is Halloween Quaker by Primrose Cottage. This one is using the called for flosses, and this is where I am. This is stitched on, like I said, called for flosses, which is a mix of DMC and Weeks Dye Works, I believe, and Classic Colorworks. So it's a mix of all 3 of them. And then I am stitching this on a 32 count vintage country mocha. I really like this one. I have still quite a bit to do, but I really like it. If obviously, people do this one all the time, but most recently, I believe Tan, the monogamous stitcher, just finished hers. And she does show that in a, I think, recent Flosstube. Definitely on her Instagram. It's definitely there. And she did a fabulous job on this. She does a fabulous job on everything. If you're not watching Tan, you definitely need to watch Tan. Alright. And I promise this is my last new start. This is in a XO Candy Hearts project bag I made. This is my first animal cracker. I am so excited. So this is, if you don't know, Stacy Nash Designs stitches and creates a whole bunch of these little animals, and she calls them animal crackers. So this one is P-Roy. He is so cute. And here is where P-Roy is. Let me just put some clips in. Isn't he so cute? Little slug. This is on a 36 count Dames of the Needle, called color Prim Gray. I'm using the called for threads, which are Gentle Arts, and I'm using 1 strand over 2. I only say most of my projects are 2 strands over 2, or if I'm using Ada, it's 2 strands over 1. This is really, it's not my first 1 strand project, but I don't mind 1 stranded. It's just not quite for me. But like I said, I don't mind it. It does make the project go pretty fast though with the 1 strand. And so I will give it that. I am definitely a 2-stranded stitcher though, because I like to do the loop method. And I know everyone has done a 1-stranded loop method tutorial. I think, who was it? Bridget, the museum stitcher, did one on her Instagram. And I just can't figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm definitely doing something wrong. I just can't figure it out. But nonetheless, this one is a lot of fun to do. I started this as part of Snail Timber that some girls are hosting on Instagram. Some accounts are hosting on Instagram. And I started this as part of it. Today is September 25th. I won't get this done by the end of September probably, unless if I just stitch on this. I have some other priorities I want to work on though, but this one will come back into rotation hopefully within the next couple months, I'm thinking. All right. So those were my new starts that were kind of my ongoing whips. And then let me go into my previous whips that you've all seen before that I have still worked on in between these 5 months. So this next one is Bird Herd by Boomerang Stitches. This is in a project bag from Always in Stitches that I got, my local LNS, QNS, and YNS. Local, if you don't know, that stands for needlework store, local needlework store, local quilt shop, and local yarn shop. They sell a whole bunch of shit. So if you have not been to Always in Stitches, if you're in Noblesville, definitely go check it out. I really like them. But this is where I am on Bird Herd. So last time you saw this, I had just this 1 bird done and then this line of branch. I have since went in and filled in these little berries, did this bird, and then started on this bird. This is stitched on a 28 count Monaco that I dyed myself. I can't remember what color it is. I want to say it's either camel or taupe. It's definitely one of those two. And how I plan on stitching this, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, is that you can see that the words bird herd are on there. I am going to omit that and just make the branch all the way across, them just sitting on the branch, and we'll have it like that. And then I might actually give this to my sibling when it's done. only because they just moved into a new place, and they have a whole bunch of wildlife. They have a whole bunch of birds and everything, and raccoons and possums. They're so excited about it all, and I just think that it would just, they're definitely a bird person, and I think that they would just like it a lot. All right, next one is Nora Corbett, Miss Forest Mushroom. And this is where, I'm just going to hold this one up. This is where I am. Don't mind the parked threads. But last time you saw it, I had the red cap. So I went ahead and did some of this, I did the, what's this color? White. I did the white. Did the white. And I came down and I did this part too. This section. I am going to work on this one more in definitely November. Because this just feels like a November piece to me. And then I'm going to work on this I think next month in October as well, because it's like a fall. It kind of gives fall vibes, even though it's kind of like, I don't know. I think of mushrooms during the fall season because it's all wet and everything. So I just I'm definitely going to work on this one a little more. This is stitched with the called for DMC, and this fabric is a, I cannot remember what fabric this is. Let me see if I have the tag here. Give me 1 second. Oh, here it is. This is a Fiber on a Whim Malachite, which is what I thought. But that's where I am. Up next, I have this living in a Buddy the Elf project bag. It says the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing aloud for all to hear, which is, Elf is probably my favorite Christmas movie. This is the Christmas Cuckoo Clock by Tiny Modernist. And this is where I am. So you may not be able to tell, but I did stitch about 400 stitches on this since the last time that you saw it. It doesn't seem like it is 400 stitches though. I just did all of the pink here, the blush, the mouth, the arrows, and the eye and the eyebrow. So I worked on the inside here. It is about 400 stitches. Like I said, it does not look like 400 stitches at all. But that's what I worked on. I do plan on getting this out a lot more, and I will talk about plans at the end. I am very excited for plans, so please stay tuned for that. But this is Christmas Cuckoo Clock by Tiny Modernist. She started this as part of a SAL. I started it during the SAL, and obviously I fell off of it. Started this in 2024. And this is stitched on a fabric flare. Let me see. It's fabric flare, and then the color, I have to unroll it here, is gray fairy dust. So at the end here, so this pattern is pretty much full coverage. So at the end here, I will have a nice full coverage pattern. I do plan on finishing this as a working clock for that I can put out during Christmas. So that is my end goal. If anyone has any tips on that, please send them my way, because I don't know what I'm doing when that happens. But this will have a long way to go before I even get to think about finishing. Okay. There's more. I just gotta get them. Okay. Let's start here. Okay. next project bag. This one is Buzzing of the Day by Teresa Kogut. This is from the book Hello Spring. I've showed this one a few times, but let me show what the finished piece is going to look like. That's finished. And this is where I am. So it may look like I didn't do a lot, but I did bring down, I did work down this way. So I did the line here. I did started on this sun and then the birds. I worked on this during the Harvest Moon Hangout that Lindy Stitches that hosted back in July. When I was in the Stitchy rooms, this is what I stitched on. Give me 1 second. Ew, gross. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, this is what I stitched on during the Harvest Moon Hangout. This is stitched on a... Oh no. It's ripped right there. That's not good. Okay, I will fix that. But this is stitched on a, I believe, 32 count platinum. I can't find the tag, but 32 count platinum, I believe. It's the called for, whatever the called for is, and then I just did a 32 count. And then I'm using the called for DMC. All right. This next one is Fractor Flowers by Kathy Barrick. I'll pop a photo up here. And then here is where I am. So again, may not look like much since last time you saw it, but I did finish up letters here. And then I finished up this stem right here. And I finished actually page 1 of the pattern. So this is a page 1 finish. And my next goal is to work, I think, down this way, because I want to finish out this flower right here, finish off these words, and then get going back on the stem right here, and then bring the border down. That's my next goal, so I'm going to work on this page next. And I think that it goes 1, 2, maybe 3, 4. I don't know, but it's that's where I'm going to work. And this is stitched on a 32 count. I believe it is, yep, Cream and Sugar. Casual linen using the called for DMC. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love to work on this one, even though I don't work on it a whole lot, just because I don't know why. I just don't work on it a whole lot. Once I got that page finish, I was really motivated, and then I just kind of fell off because I wanted to show you guys the page finish, and then I just never picked it back up because life be lifin'. All right. Next one is in this project bag, Halloween Spooky. This is a medium Verlande sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I started this as part of a this year as the new year, new start, new sampler. And this is where I am. This is stitched on a 36 count Bestitch Me fabric in the color Ledger. And since you last saw it, I came down here. Last time I had the border. So I came down, worked on this motif, this one, and then this big, this is going to be a big old motif right here. So I worked on all of that. And also, if you have not seen this fabric yet, it is absolutely gorgeous. It has just the hints of blue and then some pops of like like a golden color almost. And it's so pretty. I think it's going to be gorgeous for this this sampler. So my next goal is to work this way, finish kind of off that flower, and then kind of work on that, like I said, that big motif there. I am stitching this with a Roxy Flossco color that has been since discontinued in the color Cosmos. And I'm using 1 strand over 2 because that's a 36 count. This one, oh, I forgot to say. I'll go over plans at the end. Hold on. Okay, bear with me. I did forget to say, but I will go over plans at the end because this and Fractor flowers are part of big plans for me. So I will set those aside so that way I can talk about those and I don't forget. All right. Up next, I have Jane Hopkins, 1875 by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This is what she looks like. Big girl. Everyone is working on this. Me and Beck Stitches Everything coincidentally started this on the same day, and we are working on it not like together but around the same time, and this is where I am. So since you last saw it, I came and I worked on this flower and then up this way, and I've probably added about maybe 400 or 500 stitches since last time you saw it. And this one will get a lot more progress here soon too. This is stitched on a 36 count something. Why can't I never remember what my fabric is? It's stitched on a 36 count, and it is well, now that's going to bother me. My grime guard I made myself, by the way. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Oh, did you guys see my needle minder? That's my cat. Her name is Ellie. She passed away about a year ago. But I talked about that on my channel. It's not a big deal, but that's her. Okay, I cannot find the tag on this. So this is I know this is a 36 count something. This is what it looks like. It's nice. I like it. Plan to get lots of progress on it. Let's put that back there. All right. Yep. So that's where I am. All right. Up next, I have my Mario stitch. This is Mario Star World, and I found this pattern on a blog, and the designer is Funky Monkey. I always tag that down below. Last time you guys saw this, I was at 9%. Okay, I was at 9% last time. I am now at 28 and something percent, and this is what it looks like. Oh my god, guys, I did so much. I did so much on this. So I am so excited to talk about this one. So let me put my board on. Okay. So this is stitched on a 18 count white Aida using called for DMC. And last time you saw it, I had about maybe like that done. Like I did not have a whole lot. So I have since then filled out all of this, and worked my way down this way to this next star here. And like I said, I'm 28%. I am over a fourth of the way there. I am so excited. So This has been getting a lot more stitching because I have been stitching this as part of my pickup stitch when I pick up my daughter from school. So I'd probably get about 100 stitches during that, 150 stitches during that time that I'm sitting there waiting for her to come outside and get in the car. And this just, it's a lot of filling, but I'm able to do a lot of stitching in that time because it's filling. So I am really excited about this. I even found a frame for it while I was thrifting. This is what the frame looks like. So I found this frame at Goodwill. It was only $2.99. And I am going to pop this in there once it's done. And I plan on doing like very little, almost no border, because this is almost the same size as what this finished will be. So I'm just going to pop this in there when it's done. I'm measuring as I go along, but I am really excited about this frame actually. I wanted something neutral, something to frame nicely and highlight. It does have a little bit of discoloration, a little bit. But I think that just gives it character. If it bothers me too much, I'll just spray paint it, and I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that's the finish. That's going to be the finished frame for Mario Star World. Very excited about this. All right, and then this one is in a project bag portfolio. I want to show you. It's Pokemon. I love it. I made it myself. I followed the ElizabethAnnCanStitch tutorial for the project bag. And it was so easy to do. I've made 3 of the portfolio so far. My Jane Hopkins, I didn't really show that one. Let me show that portfolio. This is the portfolio for Jane Hopkins. Has a magnetic snap. And this is what the inside looks like. So I have a little pocket here, a vinyl pocket, and then another pocket. And then just a where I can hold my scissors and my thread. And I kind of saw, for this one, I saw on Etsy what it was. A photo. I saw on Etsy a photo for a portfolio, and I kind of customized that one to my needs, and I really like it. This one is in a patchwork project bag. This was actually the first patchwork project bag I had made. I lie, there's nothing in here. This is just a oh my god, I'm a hot mess. So this is just fabric and thread. I have a whole bunch of thread in here for a project I want to do. It has been a long time. I've just been putting things in a tote, and this just happened to be one of them that happened to slip in there. So let's ignore that. All right. I got 2 more for you. This next one is in this kind of project bag. This is Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And here I am. So when you last saw this, I basically had this and then this square done. I have since filled in this and then started to fill in this. This was filled in a little bit last time, but I did have to seam rip all of it, and then I redid it, so because I had messed up. So that's where I am. This is stitched on a 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I am using the Classic Colorworks Fallen Leaves, and it gives it just a nice variegation. My hope is to finish that one next month. And then my last whip, I have my full moon stitch, which is Like a Moth to Flame by Sprouting Lupine. I like to stitch on this every full moon. I will be honest, 4 months went by and I did not stitch on it. It just is what it is. 4 months went by and I did not do it. I stitched on it this month though for this full moon, and I got in, let's see, I stitched on it for 2 days and I probably got in almost 400 stitches, and this is where I am now. So what I did on this was last time you saw it, I just kind of had like this. So I filled in the body, went down here, filled that in, filled in the rest of that, and then worked on the other wing. So I got a lot done on this on the full moon. I do plan on stitching on this the October full moon. Because I want to get this done. I've been stitching on this for a long time. I've had it as a whip for a long time, for about a year, a little over a year, and I plan on stitching on it every full moon. It's just that it just doesn't work out for me. I do give myself a grace of 3 days around the full moon, typically the day before, day of, day after, or sometimes day of, and then the next 2 days is typically what I do for my stitching around the full moon. It's just that this one just hasn't gotten any love except for this month. But this is stitched on a 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus, and I am using the called for DMC. I'm going to take a drink of water while you guys look at this. All right. All right. That's all my whips. That's everything from 5 months. Thank you for bearing with me. And I want to talk about plans. So, plans. There is a Survivor stitching game. Oh boy. If you don't know me, Survivor is my favorite TV show. I've watched it since season 1, since it came out. I was 5 years old when it came out. Me and my family, we sat down every Thursday night, because it used to be on Thursdays. We sat down every Thursday night and watched it. And switched to Wednesdays, we switched to Wednesdays and watched it. And now they're on season 49. And there is a stitching game for this season. So making things with string on Instagram. And her friend and the Instagram name is Sewn Into Everything, I believe. I'll link all the information down below. There's a Google Docs form for the Survivor stitching game. I will link that down below as well. But basically, and I'll link the video where they talk about their Survivor stitching game. If you want all the details of that video, go there and watch it. They go way into depth, and then the Google Docs goes into depth as well. Highly recommend. So basically, for the Survivor stitching game, what I'm doing is I'm doing kind of the not easy version, but the lesser hard version, where I am picking 3 main whips for the 3 tribes. So my 3 whips are my I'm going to show those to you. It's my Modern Folk Embroidery, which we just saw that I was here on. I assigned this to the blue tribe. So that is the blue tribe stitching. Jane Hopkins is the red tribe that I assigned. And then Fractor Flowers is the yellow tribe. So how it works is each week they will get stitches into them. So each week, depending on how the team does, if someone wins a reward challenge, a immunity challenge, gets voted out, etc., you have a number of stitches to stitch on it. I just want them all together. You have a number of stitches to stitch on it. So the start was last night. I watched it. So I have some stitching to do on these pieces. Each piece is going to get some stitching this week. I do plan on stitching maybe only 2 days per for the week of the Survivor. So I do keep up with Survivor. Like I said, it's my favorite show. I watch it continually. I watch it live as it happens. Watch it when it comes on Wednesdays. So my goal is to go ahead and as soon as someone wins that first reward challenge, I will go ahead and get it out and start on it. I did it last night because I wanted to actually watch the premiere. But by the way, it premiered last night on Wednesday. But yeah. So my goal is to go ahead and stitch on them for hopefully about 2 days. Try to get as much stitching as I can in those 2 days. So about Wednesday, Thursday, leading into Friday. And if I don't get all of my stitching for the week, I am not playing catch up. And here's why. I'm not playing catch up with these because I can easily get behind on the stitching, and then next thing I know, if it goes to tribal council for 3 weeks in a row, well, when someone gets eliminated on that tribe, it's 500 stitches. That can easily add up to 2,000 stitches, and that overwhelms me. That stresses me out just thinking about having to do 2,000 stitches in 3 days. That overwhelms me. I cannot do that. So I've already decided that if I fall behind, I'm not making up my stitching. If by Friday night, by the time I go to bed, if I am not done with my stitching for that week's Survivor, I'm not making it up. So I'm giving myself the Wednesday night through Friday night to work on my Survivor stitching. And then if I end up not stitching on, like making up if I end up not completing my stitching, I will just start new on Wednesday and just start like new from there, acting like I did complete my stitching. So that way I don't get too far behind. So that's my Survivor stitching game. And then I have a birthday coming up. So my birthday is October 14th. And I'm doing a new start for my birthday. I am turning 30. I am so excited to turn 30. I know a lot of people dread turning that age, but 29 has been literally hell for me, and I need something new in my life. I am excited for this new chapter in this new era. My mom and my mother-in-law, my stepmom, and my husband are throwing me a Taylor Swift themed birthday party. I'm so excited. But to commemorate my birthday this year, I am doing a new start on the day. So I'm going to be doing Mushroom Witch by the Stitchy Crypt. And this is what it's going to look like. However, I'm doing mine on this fabric. I believe this fabric is by Painted Threads. I don't know. I got this when I went to Michigan in Saginaw at a why can't I not think of words? I got this when I went to an LNS in Saginaw, Michigan. And I cannot remember the manufacturer or anything. I lost the tag. But it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the Mushroom Witch on here. I have the threads. It's in my Lizzie McGuire project bag. And then I have the threads that I still need. But I'm ready to start this on the day. So if you want to start it with me, feel free to. That would be so much fun. I've never hosted a style before. So if people are interested in stitching that piece, just let me know and maybe we can get something going. Other than that, I do have to find time to work on my round robin. My Carolyn Manning round robin. I am doing that with some girls, Beck Stitches Everything, Rebecca, Jill from Stitchin' Books, and Jen's Fiberweb. I currently have Jill's piece, and I have I barely started it. I probably only have about maybe 200 stitches in it. I don't have it with me right now. It's across the room. I'm just not going to go grab it right now. But I do have to find time to do that, so that because Jill and Jen are already done with theirs. I am way behind. I'm always behind on this. And I feel so bad that I'm always behind on this. Sorry, girls. But I will find time to work on it definitely within the next couple weeks. Other than that, I've been just kind of toying around with some designs. I'm trying to make a Quaker type design with kind of everything going on in the world lately. I want it to say something that speaks to me. I'm just not quite sure what. So I'm kind of working on that. And I've just kind of been doodling. Like I said, life has been lifing. Back in the spring was really hard for me. I went through a really lot of hard things in the spring that transpired into the summer. A lot of things got put on hold for me. And, but I just want you guys to know I'm doing a lot better. Things are looking up for me. I'm very excited about what's to come. I have some good things on the horizon for me. If you want to send me positive vibes, I would be more than happy to have those. If you want to, if you want to pray for me, I'm not religious, but please feel compelled to do so if you want to. I think that is the utmost compliment that someone can do, is pray for someone or send positive vibes. So I have some good things coming up, so send some positive vibes. Hopefully everything pans out like how I want it to. Within the next couple weeks, I've been doing some tarot card magic, and everything says that I'm gonna be okay. So I'm hoping everything's gonna be okay there. Yep. So I'm looking around, and I think that is about it. This was a long video. Thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out and chatting. Bye.